Well, Atlas Machine is one of the largest heavy-capacity industrial machine shops in the Midwestern U.S. Our customers are manufacturers. Our employees are machinists, engineers, welding, metallurgical specialists, and our focus is industrial machinery. Our customers are manufacturers, and our whole objective is to design, build, or remanufacture, optimize industrial machinery. Our customers are everything from steel mills to coal mines. We tell our people that there's a little bit of Atlas in everything from toothpaste to Toyotas, and that's true.
And location, how many employees?
Have 200 employees total. Have locations in Kentucky, Indiana, and in Ohio. We're based here in Louisville. We have a service facility in Evansville. We have another plant in Cincinnati, and we have a sales facility in Columbus, Ohio, too.
And I understand this is a long-time family business?
That's correct. Our company was started in 1907. My grandfather went to work here as chief engineer in about 1910 or so, and now my son, who is fourth generation, is our chief engineer.
You know, we were talking earlier, and I've heard you speak before, as I mentioned, about your struggle in finding the folks with the skills you need. And as you know, we're working on this video to help other employers understand the need for supporting more rigorous standards in high school and that sort of thing. But what is your situation? What is your experience as you try to find folks to come to work for you?
Right now, if I had a truckload of journeyman machinists show up at our front door and they were qualified and they checked out, we'd hire them on the spot. We need skilled machinists, and there's a real shortage of them, and as manufacturing begins to come back in this country, that shortage of skilled workers is becoming much more acute.
Now, is that because they're not learning what they should in high school, or to what do you attribute this shortage?
I think the fundamental problem is that skilled trades for the last 20 or 30 years have been increasingly de-emphasized in high school. It is viewed as Plan B for people that can't get a real education. Most educators want the students to follow the same career track that they followed, which is a 4-year college education. The problem is that I can buy gas across the street here from a college graduate, making about $8 an hour, with a big loan to pay off, but I can't find machinists that make an average of $70,000.
What do you think should happen in our schools to address this issue?
I would love to see skilled trades in this country achieve the same level of respect that they have in a country, say, as Germany. In Germany, a machinist is held at the same regard that an engineer is. And I'd love to see us get to that point where the trades are really respected, not just by the general public, but also by the educators in this country. It's a real opportunity for the kids. And when you steer everyone to college, to a 4-year degree, and act as though that is the truly successful career path in almost all cases, I think that's a real disservice to these kids.
Are you encouraged at all? I know you've heard the comments from the State Education Commissioner and others on the new standards and how they are more focused on college and career. Does this give you reason for hope? Or?
Yes, I was very encouraged when I heard Commissioner Holliday talk about his emphasis on career readiness. I believe that's the term that he used. And I think that's great to see that that mindset beginning to develop among our leadership in Frankfort. I'm really eager to see how that plays out in reality.
You'd also mentioned that you see people come in with not the sufficient math skills.
That's correct.
Why are they necessary in your workplace?
Well, in our industry, a lot of these machine tools are increasingly controlled by computers and computer programs. You have to be able to calculate and enter the program. And in the case of manual machines, you have to be able to calculate feeds and speeds and know basic metallurgy. That takes a strong background in trig. And unfortunately, many of the kids coming out of high school today do not have a very strong math background. That's a real opportunity for improvement.
Where are you finding your people that come to work for you?
In Jefferson County, many of the vocational schools have been closed down. When we located this plant in this facility in the Jefferson Riverport 12 years ago, there was a machine tool program right around the corner here at Pleasure Ridge Park High School. They've closed it down since. And even then, it was kind of viewed as Plan B for students that really couldn't get a real education in the mindset of most of the education establishment. And they increasingly de-emphasized that program, and finally it just withered, and formally they pulled the plug on it. There are only 2 programs left in Jefferson County. There used to be about a dozen. So we have to go to the outlying areas. We go to Indiana. There's an excellent program at Prosser Technical Center in southern Indiana. We also go into the rural areas in Breckinridge County, Kentucky. About 35 miles from here at Irvington, there is a very good machine shop program down there. But it's mainly populated by kids from Breckinridge and Meade County. What if you don't live in that area? You don't have too many options right now.
So you're not saying kids should not be prepared to go to college?
No, I think that I think the whole emphasis is, as Commissioner Holliday has termed it, should be career readiness. Okay, you're going to go into college. You're going to come out with a 6-figure debt, maybe not quite that much, maybe more than that. But what's your plan for getting that back? You know, what specific skills are you going to develop over that 4-year period, and as a result of that very significant investment, that's going to result in a reasonable payback for you on that investment of not just money, but also your time as well. Our own calculations here have shown that a journeyman machinist comes out of a 4-year apprenticeship program at the same time a college graduate comes out of a 4-year program with a bachelor's degree, and he's already $125,000 ahead of the college graduate, maybe even more than that, when they launch their career. And over a 40-year career, a machinist here is going to out-earn the average college graduate by more than $900,000. And that's a real opportunity that I think our educators need to be aware of.
You mentioned apprenticeship. Does everyone you hire come in an apprenticeship program? How does that work?
Our employees here that we hire follow 2 tracks. One, they may come from another company in our industry, from a competitor or from someone else in our industry, and they are experienced and they're already at journeyman status. The other track is that they come up through our apprenticeship program. And right now we have a record number of youngsters in our apprenticeship program here. We pay for them to go to school. They work here. They go to school in the evening, and they're earning money. They're not going into debt. And after 4 years, they come out fully prepared to earn a very good living.
You have spoken out several meetings about this issue. I know that you are actively engaged. What would be your message to other employers when it comes to communicating their needs in finding and building a skilled workforce in Kentucky?
My advice to the other employers would be, don't just sit around and complain. Talk to people who can do something about it. Talk to our education establishment. Talk to our leadership in Frankfort. Talk to those lawmakers that represent you. Tell them about the opportunity that a lot of these kids are missing out on simply because the education establishment, I don't believe, is fully aware of the opportunity in skilled trades. Like I said, I would love for this country to get to the point that that Germany is in, for instance, where, again, a machinist is as highly regarded as an engineer. It is a respected trade. It's something that people aspire to. It's not viewed as Plan B if you can't get a real education. Unfortunately, that's the case in many areas and in many schools in Kentucky.